Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschella, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
Basketball, Draft Day Sports, 2020, Auburn Tigers. I don't know what it is about, moving into this program. It's got me juiced up, but this is the third time we're streaming this week. A couple of them have gone long. I don't have any idea how far we'll get tonight. I wanted to definitely get something up because I'm just feeling it. I was in here for like an hour earlier, like looking around at stuff. When I didn't have enough time to stream because I was up back and forth. But I was in here looking at stuff. I don't know. Strike while the iron's hot, I guess. I'm feeling it. So we're going live again. We're going to get you at least the recruiting segment of this, and then we'll just see how it goes. I guarantee it's not going to be the big 5-hour mega stream like we did the other night. But we might get through recruiting and the season. We might get through recruiting in, a couple of months of the season. We'll see how it goes. Anybody that is playing catch-up, isn't aware of the roster, here's a quick look. We just brought in Miller and we just brought in Henry, so a couple of freshmen. I expect them to definitely participate. I did, when I was just looking around sort of on my own, I went and played with the depth chart a little bit and played with the minutes a little bit. A lot of times when I'm already up and live, I'm just trying to get through this and I'll let the computer do the minutes. On this one, I actually went through and set it. So the computer had like Smith or maybe Gordon starting at the 3. And then, obviously they didn't have Daly in there because he's not healthy. But by the time the season actually starts, he should be healthy again. So I've got him in there for now. We'll check up on his availability again before we actually get games going. And then we just sort of pushed our minutes together. We staggered it out so that, we'll have a 2-minute period in each half where none of our starters are in. But it's kind of staggered like that. Trying to make sure that some of these guys that are players, like Henry, he wants some playing time, so we snuck him an extra 2 minutes in here at the end of the half. A couple of guys like that. Trying to give Daly a little bit less time, just because a lot of times I feel like the inside guys get in foul trouble. They need a little bit more of a break. They're big guys, maybe a little bit worse conditioning, those sorts of things. So all that goes into the thought process. Might need to find a way to sneak Collins onto the court more. He's a really good scorer. One of the other things I was also able to do was just sit here and kind of chill on the roster screen and take a look at some of these numbers. And you can see here, Corey Gray's ridiculous. He'll probably go pro after this year. I'm not certain. But, you'll see here, Collins is one of our 3 best scorers. Daly, Gray, and Collins, all 7s in scoring. And scoring is a very, very important attribute in this game as well as the pro basketball game. In the online league I'm on there, some of the people did all kinds of analysis and whatnot. And I could have told them without it, but the math backs it up. Scoring is an absolute massive, massive importance. These guys like Wilson, he's got 10 at field goal jumper. So, you're thinking jump shots and threes, right? But he's only got a 3 in scoring. So this is this isn't like Larry Bird. This is like the dude that can stand over there and he'll nail a wide open 3 if he gets it. But the scoring kind of affects, to some degree, how much they can create their own shot, how much they can get open, and how often they're going to put it up. So don't look for this dude to be raining 3s. Collins and actually Gray would probably be our most dangerous outside threat. He's got the jumper, he's got the scoring, so. And then as far as the inside goes, you can see these guys are better at the inside shot, but Daly is much more of a scorer. He's also huge on the offensive rebounds, the defensive rebounds. He's our best defender. So Daly's very important. Yeah, Gray was definitely important, but he was a huge recruit. That was another thing I bounced through and took a look at. He was number 16 overall. So when you're talking about guys in that top 20, they're definitely a threat to go pro every year. And, he's got the talent to do it. So we'll enjoy him for as long as he's here. If it's 4 years, that would be amazing. If it's just 2 years, I'll take it. I'd love to get a healthy year here. Delhi, one of our best players, he was out like game 4 last year. So I would like to have a healthy year, get these guys through it. It still may not be as good as our first year where we had all those senior upperclassmen. But, these guys, I mean, Gray, just very much a good all-around player. I feel great about Whitehead and Collins. D. Henry will get there. He's just a freshman right now. Jackson, also a sophomore, but remember he was out of that Georgia camp, so he'll be a little bit slower to come on. Hopefully Delhi's bounces back from the injury, and then we're just going to have to try to piecemeal something here for a third big man, much less a fourth. We're definitely a little bit light there. So that brings us on to our scholarships and our situation going into this year. So the emails tell us we've got 3 scholarships open. When I'm looking at this roster, we were very heavy in scholarship guards. We got 6 scholarship guards. Now, Gray, he could go pro at any point. Miller shouldn't. He should be solid. Collison is a 1-star junior that's probably never going to play. So I would be very tempted to cut him, except for the fact that I think Gray is such a threat to leave. Maybe, as a senior, this guy can do something as a backup if he's forced into that role. Esmond Wilson, on the other hand. Whitehead and Collins have got the 2 locked down. This guy's never going to play. He's slightly more talented than Collison, but he's at the wrong position. So he's going to get cut because we really only need 5 scholarship guards. You can see here we're losing 2 small forwards. One of them's only a walk-on. But Henry will be the only scholarship small forward on the roster next year unless we recruit something. So we need, really, I would like to bring in 2 small forwards. Then we're losing a power forward here. This one's a walk-on. So we would be down to 1 scholarship power forward and probably just these 2 scholarship centers. So we need 2 big men, preferably 1 at each position. Not to say I wouldn't go out and grab another guard if the right one came along. You can always slide a 2 into a 3 and whatnot. But that's sort of what I'm looking at here. We're going to make this cut on Wilson, and then we're going to go out. We're going to be looking for a couple of small forwards and then a power forward and a center. Mr. Wilson, you're just doing nothing. He does have the jumper, but the scoring's not there. The passing and handling aren't really going to make up for it. There's no rebounding. There's no defense whatsoever. He's athletic. I don't know at what, but there's no room for him here. So, 4 scholarships. So let's go out and take a look at what we got. What's up, Breeze? Glad to have you here, buddy. So we got 4 scholarships. We got over $50,000 to do it. Here are all of the positions in the Southeast. Now, I know, I sort of laid out what we're going to be looking for, but I'm still going to load this up about the way I normally do. May go a little bit light on each of these guard positions because I don't really expect that to be a priority. But if we find the right guy, we can certainly jump on something. I mean, we're not even gonna talk to Carroll. That GPA is too low. He has no interest. He scares me to death. But we'll definitely talk to Nick Haywood, Mark DeWolf. He's getting right around that area where you're super talented, ton of potential, and you might be a 4-year player. That would be a really cool pickup, assuming that he actually, performs up to what he's supposed to be doing here. His assists per game actually don't look great. So we'll see how he performs in camps. So we added Haywood, DeWolf. Let's go ahead here, throw in Leach, throw in Robinson. We can get 6 of them. That'll be fine. We'll go a little light on guards. We'll try to go a little bit heavy on the 3s if they're there, since we really want 2 of them. 1.8, absolutely not. 2.3, absolutely not. We're set at shooting guards, so really this is just about if we catch lightning in a bottle, so to speak. Yeah, that'll work. Small forward. Let's see what we've got rocking in the Southeast here. Mike Jones would be a great one to pull in. Now, this would be a really cool situation because Mike Jones, he's 11th overall. He's a 5-star guy. He's very likely to be one and done, but that's also right. Those guys, they sometimes stick around. So if I brought in 2 small forwards, I could totally take a flyer on him, and then even if he leaves, we've got another option. But let's load up here. 2-4 when they've got strong interest doesn't scare me much. 2-1, I think that he'll probably qualify. because he has the pre-existing interest. I've never seen somebody start off with interest and not qualify. I just haven't seen it. Let's add him. I'll try not my best not to offer him, and then we'll see if my theory holds water. We're going kind of deep on the small forwards because there's not much up here, and also, you know, we're thinking about taking 2-0. We can throw the JUCO in, and we'll go all the way down to there. Now, this guy, 2.2, Josh Favors, he won't qualify. There's no way. All right, so let's round out this list and then get to recruiting. 4.0. Number 1 power forward in the nation. Also, I think I already deleted the email, but I did look through the draft. I don't remember if we did that at the end of the last episode or not. But Kenny Chambliss, the power forward that we tried to recruit our first year that ended up going to Louisville, he was a one and done and got drafted in like the top 15. So pretty cool for him. See, these 2 3s and 2 4s that already have interest, they don't scare me. Oh, check that out. Averaging double digits, I'll take it. 2 forward, no interest, scares me to death. No thank you. What's up, Dima? How's it going, buddy? Glad you could stop by the stream. Glad to have you here. We're not going after a JUCO 3-star. Nah, it's just not happening. Not sure exactly where we are. All right, Logan was good. All right, so that's pretty much going to be where we settle on our list. We can just do this position by position at first. Gotta wait for all the green to disappear so I can see who actually has some interest. I always find it weird when these guys have zeros in their stat categories. Those guys sort of scare me a little bit also. No, we're into... This is college basketball 2020. I'm not actually streaming any of the pro basketball. I'm doing the college basketball, and then I'll try to get some of the pro football up here and there. It's just like for whatever reason, I'm engaged in the college basketball right now, and it's burning a hole through my pocket, you know. So this is what we're gonna do. When I've got the time, I can sneak away, you know, doing my chores during the day and all those good things. And I've got the time, and you know, I'm not focusing on anything else. I'm going to try to get these things out so we get some content up there. Y'all have something to... There's something to watch if... What is going on here? There we go. There's something to watch in case I got to go a week or two where I only get like 1 stream out, so... No. That was... So that was one of the guys we were recruiting in this game, Kenny Chambliss, I think, power forward. I was recruiting him into this game, and then in this game, you know, the beginning of the year, you get the email that says how the professional draft went, and so Chambliss was drafted in this game, in college basketball. It showed him as being drafted like top 15 or so. But no, I very much, I don't have this league linked to a pro basketball save. So both of them enjoyed it. Towns didn't care for it. All right, so we got quite a few of our players showing up at this national camp. So Nick Haywood, the point guard, was actually the MVP. Brad Hill. So Brad Hill was also in on it. Good to see a couple of our guys in there. Let's see what elite, what is it? East Coast Jams, see what that looks like. We got no Southeast region representation there. And I can't remember. I think Virginia is actually America East also. So it looks like no Southeast region representation in the top 5 at Georgia either. So really, we're only going to go with what we got to see in person at Indy. So that's the extent of the information that we've got. Now, we do know that Nick Haywood crushed it. Let's go ahead and get in on some point guards. Probably don't need one, but, you know, this guy's the number 2 recruit in the nation. He was MVP at Indy Elite. That's what I was saying earlier. I don't need a guard. I'm not really going out looking for a guard, but if something like that just happens to fall into your lap, you don't let it go, or else you got to find a new job. So let's give that a go. Let's bounce back over here to these centers, and we'll watch these two live. Towns will probably back off of. We're not low enough on budget that I absolutely have to cut him out and just abandon him. We can let the assistant coach call, work on him. Maybe he comes around, but not going to count on it necessarily. So he's unlocked. Warren, we still got to unlock a couple categories. Ask about the parents. Make some chit chat. Make sure he knows that we want him down in Auburn. All right, we're not in the mix, but there's some interest there. We can talk our way into it. I think I'm up to like 90 on recruiting. We can look at the coaching skills later. There's one of them, don't remember if it's player development or offensive skill. Something, one of those categories I think is maxed out. So I'm getting close. Scouting will come a little bit later, but I'm really getting close to maxing out my personal coaching abilities. So that's definitely for the best. All right, we got some stuff unlocked. We can still watch some film. Let's check out these power forwards because Brad Hill was also a big time player at the Indy camp. He's got a 4.0, and that's a great player out of a pipeline state. Sure would be nice. So we're going to get another summer camp here, and then we can get through this week of recruiting, and then we'll definitely try to get Brad Hill in for a visit after that. See what kind of interest he has after checking out the campus. Oh, another summer camp. Let's get through that. Cool visit. Appreciate the time. And Nick Haywood, of course, doesn't think it's worthwhile. It seems like that very, very upper echelon of recruits isn't particularly interested in us. We're having trouble in like the top 10 to 15 range. But beyond that, we've had pretty good recruiting, I've got to say. I've been very happy with what we've brought in so far. All right, so now we need to go out and get our visits out. Let's see. Get a couple more live visits there. I really do want to bring in another big man, whether it's a power forward, whether it's a center. We desperately need something else just to give us a third player that I trust in there. And really, we need two. And then let's go over here and get some film. We're going to hit probably the small forwards last because we do need two of them. But we can go ahead and call right now. We got some time. We can unlock some pitch areas, see what they're into. Well, see, I think that was actually the first one that like sort of almost hung up or didn't give me an answer because I'm up over 90 in my own recruiting now, so not going to have as much of that. We can mostly just call these guys up and unlock stuff, which is always awesome. Can't stand getting hung up on. Whoop. Of course, as I say that, he tries to weasel his way out of answering a question. All right, all of our recruiting for this week is done. Let's burn it on up into the next week. Getting our initial evaluations done. We're in a dead period now. Mike Jones actually has some interest. Well, if he wants to talk, let's talk. What are you into, Mike? Oh, not much. So he's just going to straight up hang up on me. All right, let's try again. Start that conversation over. What do you think about team prestige, school location? Yep, lost him on conference prestige. There we go. All right, so now we're answering some questions. What are the parents thinking? Still got a little bit of time. 15%. I'm not going to call anybody else this week. We can watch some more film. Boom. Advance. Get through the dead period. Get back to these on-campus visits. Bring in a couple of small forwards here. We will also watch them live, try to generate a little bit of that interest. Which one did I not get for it? I missed one of these. Oh, I missed scouting them live. We're in his top 10. We're in his top 10. Good to see. Love it. Let's call him up and unlock his facilities. And get through the coaches. Good to go. Keep it moving. Chat up as many of these guys as we possibly can. Oops. We already had that. Our assistant coach got a couple of those unlocked for us, and I just went right back onto it. Michael. Oh, I thought they said maybe for some reason. Michael Bybee. See what Mike's got to say. Nothing. I'm skipping that. Drives me nuts when they do that, man. Drives me nuts. We'll get some more film. Since we need two small forwards, we're spending quite a bit of time in here. We're actually going to get another summer camp, and then now that may have actually been Memphis, and this could be America East. I can't remember exactly where we were in that order. Let's check it out. See what we got. One of them had to have been Memphis. All right. So of course Brad Hill. I told you we're having trouble in that top 10. These absolute top tier guys just don't care for us. Everybody else is good. Oh, Haywood actually went to Memphis. He had to be MVP there too. Yeah. I'm telling you, these camp results are pretty consistent. That's why I trust him so much. Of course, Haywood was the MVP at Indy Elite. He's also the MVP of the Memphis Hoop Summit. Along with him, we got Wes Carroll, Jordan Smith, Richard Warren, and Jeff Warren. All right, so a lot of point guard talent this year. That might make it tough to pass on point guard this year, especially when Corey Gray is probably leaving us. I mean, Haywood's not going to have any interest. What did DeWolf do? He must not have gone to Memphis. He did go to Indy. He was top 25 there. Ooh, we don't have a lot of those guys on our list. Let's check it out. Point guard only, Southeast region. Let's check out the full recruit list here. All right, so there's Wes Carroll with the 2-3. That's why he's not on our list. There's Jeff Warren with a 3-1. We're going to go ahead and add him in. And was Perry Leach the other? He was top 10, which isn't bad at all. Who was the other point guard that we're missing out of this Southeast region tournament? Dun, dun, dun. Where's the results recap? Jordan Smith. Oh, he was already on the list. I just forgot the name. All right, so let's make sure we get... Oh, we do not have visits. Let's run this round of recruiting, and then we'll get those guys in for visits. Because at the very least, even if they're not initial offers, even if we're not bringing them in immediately, we can definitely bring them in eventually. Of course, now Warren has no interest. We'll see how that happens, how that works. After a little bit of an on-campus visit, come check out beautiful Auburn, Alabama. See if it might change your mind a little bit. In the meantime, we can talk to Perry Leach. He did just fine at Memphis. Let's talk to Aaron Robinson. So I can't wait to get into some games. I want to see what these guys can do. You know, they were all right. We went, I think 15-16 last year, but they were all freshmen. And getting another year under their belt always helps. I also did go back while we were, when I was just looking around today trying to figure out what was what, I went back and looked. If y'all remember Holloway, the 5-star small forward from our first season here at Auburn, I'd said I wanted to go in and check like the all-time records and everything. He's like second in rebounds, second in double-doubles, all this other stuff to some guy named Zimmerman who graduated in 2030, who like leads in all-time points, all-time rebounds, all-time double-doubles. It's ridiculous. He was an amazing player. And the team he graduated off of went like 500. So he must have been the only thing that they had going. So anyway, yeah, Holloway was definitely right up there. He was second in points, second in rebounds, second in double-doubles. He was definitely an all-time player for these guys. Mike Jones, once again, the very, very top, just won't come. And Jeff Warren doesn't care for it. Let's take a look through the Norton, see if there's any players that jump out at us that either we recruited into one of these other schools. There's Jake Owens. We offered him, or we at least went after him when we were at Nebraska, I believe. Let's see who else we got going on through here. Guy down at Florida, still in the race. A lot of Michigan State in here. Little Alabama. Landry Seabrooks might be a force to be reckoned with in conference. All right, nothing from Nebraska. All of our Tulane guys are pretty much gone. So, it's about time to start getting some offers out here, guys. Let's start it off with the centers. We know we got to bring one in. Let's see. We'll just go straight down the list. These top three right here, the 4-star guys that are all averaging double-doubles, are the guys that I would really prefer. So he's top 10 at Memphis. That's solid. Top 25 at Indy. Right off the bat, Alexander's looking good. The GPA's good. No, Roby Bass, not looking great. Now here's tremendous work ethic. Top 25 at Indy and top 5 at Memphis. So, Alexander and Warren, pretty even in performances. It's kind of a tough decision. The thing I really like is Warren showed up with that tremendous work ethic. Let's see. He was top 10. Some knowledge of a 3.2. We're 7th on his list. He's really into playing time. So playing time first and then location second. Warren's just all about that location. But we're not in his top 10, so that hurts. Because he was top 25 at Indy, top 10 at Memphis with the tremendous, I love that tremendous work ethic. I don't know if, I like Warren a little bit better as a player with that note added in, but we might have a better shot at Alexander since we're in his top 10. I'm going to go for Warren here. Let's make sure we got everything unlocked on him. We do. All right. And then we can go ahead and host a handful of these other guys because we definitely need bodies on the inside. We'll watch film on all of them again. All right, now I'm not really going to bother with calling until we've actually made our offers. So we can make like one offer a week, go right through this, and then see what we've got once it's time to actually do the in-homes. All right, our next opposite power forward, Brad Hill, did not care for the visit. Let's take a look here at Kurt Chambers. So he was decent at Indy, tremendous work ethic a couple of times, and top 25 at Memphis. That's not bad at all. Averaging the double-double, I love to see that. Love the notes on him. Nah. Cheryl, not so much. Rob Joseph is a no. Alex Floyd, not so much. Not a whole lot of standout performances here among the power forwards. Looking quite ugly, to be honest. Wow. So Pipkins looked okay. Other than that, it's really just Chambers and then obviously Brad Hill. who doesn't have a whole lot of interest. So we're by default going with Chambers. I don't think Hill's going to have any interest. Probably go with Pipkins after that. I mean, I don't want one of these guys that, is going to show up and end up be a 1-star and just eat a scholarship. To be honest, if we don't land Chambers and it doesn't look good on him, what we'll actually do is probably jump over and grab a second center, because I desperately need 4 big bodies just to fill time. Oh, thanks for the follow. I'm Talking Rock. Are you gonna get some War Eagle going? Oh yeah, we'll get there. We gotta get into the games first. Let's finish burning through this. Let's finish burning through this first. We will at least bring Pipkins in for a visit. Let's take the opportunity. Oh, we'll grab Williams, and we'll get a head start on some more small forwards. How about that? Get some more film on these guys. We're gonna need it. All right, now we got 2 offers to make here at small forward, and then time for in-homes. That's when the magic happens. That's when the fun gets started. And hopefully, if we have a good, successful couple of weeks in in-homes, we're through recruiting in 30 minutes, and we can get some season going on. All right, we're number 1 on Holland's list. Hard-working kid. He was decent at Memphis and didn't stand out at Indy, but we're number 1 on his list. He's way. Oh, well, I mean, considering this list, he's pretty high up. Small forward was a pretty thin position in this region this year. So, I mean, we're number 4 on his list. He was also decent at Memphis. So, these guys not necessarily standing out. That's the thing. There's so much talent at that point guard position. Cleaver didn't stand out. Not a lot going on here, guys. Not a lot going on here. There's a lot of interest. I love the interest. But I wish some of y'all knew how to dribble a basketball. So he was actually decent. And what was Holland? Decent? Holland's decent. He's way up there, and he's comparatively speaking. He's averaging 15 a game, and then we're dropping all the way down to Dix, who's around the same. I don't know that there's a huge difference between Holland or Dix. I'll take the work ethic, but I'm not really blown away by any of these guys. So we're actually only offering 1 scholarship here. We will at least bring Dix in for a campus visit. Now, we haven't looked at shooting guards at all. So let's do that now, because we might be looking for somebody to slide over. And given how thin the power forwards look, we're not going to be wanting to slide down. We're going to have to slide up, if anything. So Hedrick was top 25. That's good to see. McCleary. When these guys are all short, when there's no 6'5", 6'6" shooting guards. Harris, not so much. Alright, and another look at point guards. Because we got some interest over here, and we got some real talent. Not in Robinson. It was Perry Leach, right? Perry Leach is top 10? Top 10 at Memphis. Top 25 at Indy. So this is our other offer, actually. And if he commits, what we can do, because we've got the point guard I said I was keeping around as a just in case, but he's terrible. If we land Leach, then we can go and cut that dude, and then we can come back and offer something else. Whether that's going back and offering Pipkins, whether that's offering another center, we'll see how it goes. But Leach is going to be our last offer. I feel good about it. All right. A couple of weeks to go. We're just going to get some on-campus visits. Keep the interest high. Another 5-hour stream, Agelia. I don't think we're going to be able to do that tonight. Monday night, my wife had company over, and so I was not missed whatsoever. Tonight it would stand out a little bit more, so I think I will probably not get away with 5 hours. Can probably get away with an hour and a half. Probably about an hour and a half. What time is it? Yeah, somewhere around there. I think we can at least get through to the new year. Maybe we can get all the way through this season. I mean, new year like January 1st in game, the first half of the season. The non-conference schedule. Maybe it's more clear if I say it that way. I think we can get through the non-conference schedule. If not the whole year, we'll see. Rodney Dix had an awesome time. That's good because he's one of the players that we're keyed in on. All right, let's bounce back over. Make sure we got plenty of centers coming in. Let's bring in some more of the power forwards. I know there wasn't a ton of talent there, but we can at least bring them in. All right, all of our offers are out. We're moving into... Yeah, Gray might be close to 20 points a game this year. He wasn't far off of it last year, to be honest. All right. First big thing, you got to make sure you don't lose anybody ahead of time. So nobody committed without at least talking to us first, which is good. So now we get a chance to go in and talk to these guys. So, Chambers, playing time and location. Oh, we really want this guy. Let's go talk to him about... Let's talk about playing time, actually, because we're pretty thin at power forward. Let's talk about playing time there. For our center, look at that. Alexander actually committed to Georgia Tech right out of the gate. So Warren is all about location. No question what we're talking about here. Holland wants to hear about playing time. Yep, we can do that for you. And Perry Leach wants to hear about that location. Gotcha. There's really nobody else I want to bring in for campus visits, so we're going to see how this week goes. I think we can bring in 2 of them. First week, 2 commitments to us. So only 1 commitment. Let's see where it's going to be. Richard Warren's coming in. So there's our third big body, guys. Assuming they're healthy, Warren and our current center, the one that got hurt last year, they can man that. And then we'll have the power forward that came out of the Georgia camp. So we got 3 bodies on the inside that I trust now. Looking to bring in our 4th. Take a swing back through, see where we're looking on the list. So we're up to number 1 on Leach's list, talking about location. Don't, if you're doing something right, don't change it up. So more location for him. We're number 1 on his list. Talking about playing time. Don't mess it up. And at the power forward, number 2 on his list. So we still got playing time and location. Last time we went playing time. Switch it up. Let's switch it up this time. And as a backup, I think we said if we didn't get a power forward, we were probably switching over and grabbing a second center. But it's not Roby Bass. Who's looking good? Who's looking good? Talented player that could work harder. Ugh, no thanks. Is Bryant Smith the best we're going to do? Yeah, we can bring him in. Talk about location. He's into it. His parents are really super into it. So he's a backup option. Hopefully we don't have to get to that. Check out the schedule for this upcoming season. See what you're going to get tonight. Woo! Wow, these are all home games, guys. These are all home games. It's hot garbage central, except for the number 1 Michigan State Spartans are going to come in. Then we do have an unranked Kansas team, so that'll be an interesting one. We'll probably lose to Michigan State. We should beat the rest of this crap, and then the Kansas game will be interesting to see. All right. I mean, I'm not going to argue. And if they want to give me, 11, 12 home games in my non-conference, I'm not going to say no. So should be record-wise, we should be fine this year. We should easily reach that marker of 500. Then we just need to see if we can get up into the top half of the conference. So, oh, look. I didn't move off quick enough, but we got Leach, we got Holland, we got Chambers. That's our whole class. Let's take a look at it. War Eagle, baby. No, Northern Kentucky's not shocking anything. I mean, look at the class we brought in, guys. I mean, Perry Leach was a top 10 camper. Warren, Chambers, both very solid. Holland was all right. Well, they're all top 150 guys, and this is so much depth. Like, the cool thing is, this is a similar class to like what I brought in the first year. I mean, Gray's ranked a little bit higher than our best player here, which is Chambers. But, you know, like these guys, like going into Nebraska, this would have been my starting lineup. And now these guys are going to come in, and I'm already going to have, you know, juniors and sophomores well ahead of them that are equally as talented. So, you know, we're set up here. Even if our schedule had been more difficult, this could have been a bit of a rocky year, but it had been the last one we were going to have. With the schedule the way that it is, we should be fine. You know, we've got some upside. I don't think there's too much downside here. I see at least, you know, 16, 17, maybe 18 wins. And then next year we're bringing this in behind that class that's already there. So all we really got to worry about, you know, just like any school, got to worry about people transferring out, got to worry about guys going early to the draft. But folks, we are rolling at Auburn, Alabama. This is going to be some serious, we're going to start calling it Banner City here before long. So we're done with recruiting once again. See, I don't think, I set all of our strategy and practice plans and all of that last night before we got into last season. Since we're starting all freshmen, we went ahead, set up what we wanted to coach, what we wanted to run, all that's good to go. So now we're firing off games, folks. We're 40 minutes into the stream. Let's see how far we can get into this season before something explodes in my upstairs. Oh, and we can keep an eye out. I don't know if anybody remembers the guys that I said would qualify and would not qualify, but if you remember that, maybe shout it out in chat. And we can take a peek once we get in. The only problem with that is we don't get the early notification. You actually got to wait until you get into like February 1st, I think. Maybe January 20th, somewhere in that range. So it'll be a while. We got incidents. Bart Jackson and Brendan Gordon slacking off. Bart Jackson popping up twice. He's going to get a call. What are you doing, man? All right. He chilled out. Brendan Gordon. I don't care about you, so. All right. He chilled out. And the other one was just a hard foul. So it was an effort play. We're not going to yell at the guy that fouled someone a little bit too hard and got shoved. That was Bart's fault. You know, take a hard foul, get up and walk away, man. We'll be trying to start stuff in here. We will not have it. That's why we got the high discipline. And you gotta play up to that. If you put your coach on high discipline and you recruit these guys saying, hey, you know, I got high discipline, you know, you gotta call and yell at them and stuff, and you can't let that kind of crap go. Or else they will get upset about it. So it's going to be interesting to see how this season plays out. I don't remember if I showed you all the depth chart or not. I think I did briefly, but I didn't talk about it too much. I've got English, the walk-on, starting at the 3. And, you know, just looking at the roster screen, he matches up favorably if our scouting rankings are correct. But I don't necessarily trust them. So English is going to have a pretty short leash this year. Henry could come in and get some playing time. I could also move Collins into the starting lineup and just, you know, get English out of there. The only problem with that is it makes me a little bit thinner at guard. But both of those are definitely options, either starting Henry or starting Collins. So we've got some things to keep an eye on as this season unfolds with regard to our depth chart and, you know, who we're actually starting. Collins, we got to find a way to get him on the court. But at the same time, like, Miller's a freshman. He's talented. He's not going to get a ton of time. I don't want to push him out because he's probably, well, I don't know. I was going to say he's probably starting next year, but we just brought in a pretty good point guard again. So it's getting to that point where it's about to be. We're going to have all kinds of those good problems. The kind of problems you want to have, like, oh, God, I got 7 4-star players. How do I decide a starting 5? Those are the kind of problems we're looking to have, and we should get there next year. It'll be interesting to see where that class ends up ranking-wise. Since it was 4 players, didn't really have that top-notch player, but that's still at least in the 10 to 15 range of recruiting classes. Maybe at the back end of the top 10. We'll see. Definitely excited for it, though. It's nice to bring in, when you have some reasonable expectations and you don't just go balls to the wall on the top 10 players in the country. Sometimes you can bring in all 4 of your targets. So we've had pretty good luck since we've got here. Of course, a lot of that is because we did look at the last stream or the one before that. We are on the normal recruiting, so it's a little bit easier on that. But also, our coach is getting pretty good. We hired a pretty good recruiter. We paid him pretty well. So, and we've just got Auburn's got like 53 prestige or so as a school. So it's only going to get better from here. First game of the year. Let's get this 2036 season underway. Geez, I think this is like the 12, 15. I think this is the 18th season you guys have been with me now. Yeah, maybe you do that, Agalia. I don't pay money over here, I'm not trying to take over some team with 95 prestige with my coach all hundreds and pay him money to do what you do. I build it the honest way. So we got Canisius coming in for the first game of the year, opening up the home court. Let's start this off right. Whoa, almost a 30-point win, and Bart Jackson suffers an injury in the first game of the year. Let's hope it's not serious. Oh, I did forget to check on Deli and make sure he was healthy. So nice to see our starting center has recovered from his Achilles injury. But now we got Bart Jackson with strained calf. He'll be just fine. Collison's got bronchitis. All right. Deli had a decent little game there. 12 points, 3 assists, 7 boards. Love to see that. Corey Gray with 23. 8 of 10 shooting. Let's see. What'd he do? What'd he do from deep? 3 for 4 from 3. Yeah. All right, so Corey Gray is going to be the man. Look at the impact estimate on Corey Gray. He's like 25%, more than 25% of the team's production. That's ridiculous. He's like equal to 3 or 4 other starters combined. Gray is going to be the man this year. Man. It's going to be a shame because he's going to leave. But it's going to be a great year. He should be, he might be a first team all SEC kind of guy. At least second team. All right, we started off right. We got a whole lot of kind of layups, gimmies. So the bad thing here is there's really only 1 or 2 opportunities for good games, and a whole lot of opportunities to trip over ourselves and really drop a game that we shouldn't. So, and there's really limited opportunities to make up for that if that happens. So we really got to defend this home court here as Lamar comes in, and we take care of business. 14-point win. Corey Gray once again up over 20 points, almost the double-double with assists. Kyle English and Al Whitehead helping out there. So English, the walk-on, looking good. Marquette Holmes 2.0. Hey, I looked. I told you guys, if you were in here earlier in the stream, I was looking through like records and stuff. I checked Alloway to see how he was all-time rebounds at Auburn. I'm pretty sure Marquette Holmes is still the leading scorer in Tulane history. So, yeah, Corey Gray is definitely looking pretty dangerous here in his second year at Auburn. So here come the LOIs. All 4 of our players are going to be here. We're good to go there. Yeah, looking at the Tulane all-time records, let's actually go do it real quick. Where do we want to go? History? When you check out these player records, guys, for Tulane, guys that we recruited are like 8 out of the top 12 in pretty much every category across the board. It's pretty cool to see. I like this point in the sim. You know, we're 17, 18 years in now. I mean, it says 2036. I think we're in the 17th or 18th year. I think we did 6 at Florida A&M, 6 at Tulane, 3 at Nebraska. That's 15. And then we've already done 2 at Auburn, 16, 17. So we're in the 18th year here. I don't know how that math adds up, but that's where we're at. So take a look at points here. Marquette Holmes is still the leading scorer in a single game. Oh, and that's right. Simmons passed him up. So Simmons was the small forward I recruited, but then I left and never coached. He actually went over 2,000, which is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like, I know Louisville basketball, you know, they've been around for 130 years. I think they have one player that ever did it. So, but Marquette Holmes is right there at second. You see Andrew Jones was a small forward we brought in. Double-double Higgins coming in at number 4. Chris Ledoux at 5. Brian Cole. I don't think I brought in Kevin Marsh. So there's the first player I didn't recruit to make this list. We brought in London. We did not bring in Floyd. I don't think I brought in Brown. And then we brought in Stetson. He was the point guard we had pretty early. So chock full of guys there. Lutz was also on the list. He actually went pro after 2 years, maybe 3. So I think he was another guy. I might have coached him his freshman year. I'm not certain. Take a look over here at assists. Stetson, Cole, Simmons, Holmes there at number 5. So chock full of our guys. Rebounds. Higgins, Simmons, Ledoux, London, Lutz, Jones. Look at Higgins. Almost 1,300 rebounds in a career. That's crazy. And then we also took a look at double-doubles. And you can guess who's the leader there. Almost 60 double-doubles in a college career where you play 120 games. Every other game was a double-double for the dude. Ah, those were the days. Good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, that's a little bit of a stroll through memory lane there for you guys. Now we can jump back into the season. We're almost through November. Sitting at 2-0 after a couple of gimmies at home. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when we get to that Kansas game. Because that is, you know, that one is one of those that could go either way. Who knows? Maybe they're ranked by the time we play. Oh, we're ranked. Look at this, guys. You're number 24, Auburn Tigers. We're ranked. We're never leaving. Staying in the top 25 for the rest of forever. Probably not. But soon enough, we'll finish every season in the top 25. So that's good enough for me. I think yeah, so here we go, guys. Kansas. So they are not ranked. We actually are. Of course, this early in the season, the rankings don't really mean much, but we didn't trip up against those lower-ranked teams that we played. It wasn't even close to tripping up. We handled both of them pretty easily. But now this is going to be a real challenge. The Jayhawks coming in, a little Big 12 SEC challenge in Auburn, Alabama. Woo! Took them down by 11. Look at Bart Jackson. The boy gets healthy. He goes for 12-7. Leads the way as your game MVP. And nice little double-digit win there against Kansas. So 3-0 start to the year. Yes, it was a home game. We had the advantage there. You know, they're not ranked. We are. So you know, maybe they're in a little bit of a downward curve, whatever you want to say, but you know, Kansas Jayhawks are the Kansas Jayhawks. A win against that, it always means something. So glad to bring home the W. Glad to be 3-0. Feeling pretty good here as we make our way through this non-conference schedule. So now we're back to, you know, play defense at home, make sure you don't drop a bad game, and see what happens when something serious comes to town with the Michigan State Spartans. I can look ahead. I'm a commentator. The players aren't looking ahead, though. They're very focused on the North Dakota State Bison, who are coming into Auburn Arena tonight. Face off with your number 24 Auburn Tigers. 26 points. We dispatched them. English is playing well. That's good to see. Of course, Gray's playing well, and Daly's playing well coming back from the injury. But English it's good to see him playing well because I'm always nervous about those walk-ons. So he's working out so far. We'll keep an eye on it as we go forward, but if we're winning games, you know I'm not changing anything. Washington goes in and beats UConn by 13. That was interesting to see. See if we got any standout performances that we can catch in here. The Zags. Ooh, Zags are nasty, man. All right. So here we go, guys. Opportunity of a lifetime. Oh, look at that. We beat Kansas, and then we fell out of the top 25. So as soon as I said we're in the top 25 and we're never leaving again, we immediately left. That sounds about right. All right, this is the only opportunity for a huge win in this non-conference schedule. The number 1 Michigan State Spartans, undefeated, coming into Auburn, Alabama to play the Auburn Tigers, also undefeated. We're 4-0 at home. We haven't left Auburn Arena yet. Michigan State hasn't played on the road yet. I think we got a chance. I think this is maybe not quite a coin flip, but as close as it gets to maybe. Yeah! War Eagle, baby. Look at Corey Gray with 21. Delly with 15. The Auburn Tigers. 7-point win over the number 1 Michigan State Spartans. We are rolling, folks. We're rolling through this non-conference schedule. I love it. The AD sets them up. We knock them down. Now, just don't lose your focus. Don't drop any of these bad games. Let's blaze on into the SEC with this record, this perfect record. We don't have to leave home. So let's just run it up, guys. Let's run it up. Run up the wins. Yeah, that's a statement victory for sure. So we've got the signature victory on the resume. Now we have to go back to avoiding the bad losses. And this is one of those things, by the time we get to next year, I'd be pissed off with a schedule like this because I don't want to be playing like this once I've got a real solid team. But right now, when it still kind of could go either way, I'll take this as we build depth. I'll take this because guys are going to have off nights, and we don't have, especially on the inside, we just don't have enough depth to account for that. We can't cover for injuries. We can't account for foul trouble, those sorts of things. So I'm all right with a bit of a gimme schedule this year. Beyond this year, I'll make sure to avoid that for you guys. It's, nobody wants to watch a real good team beat up on a bunch of nobodies. So we'll make sure to add some stuff in there once we're in a spot to be able to handle it confidently. But for this year, let's just avoid stubbing our toe and see what we can actually do once we get into some SEC play, a little bit of conference road play. See what this team's really all about. Can Corey Gray really carry them, and how far can he carry them? Can the walk-on hold up at small forward? Can he keep producing like that against good teams? But before we answer any of those questions, we got to go take care of NJIT. And we do. A nice 21-point win. Delly almost with the double-double there. Didn't quite catch the rest of the box score, so let me jump back over. 21-point win. See, Delly went for 12 and 9. Corey Gray with 18, 4 for 9 from 3. So the dude's just bombing threes. Yeah, that looks good. Bart Jackson with 10 and 6. English, only 6 points, but pulled 8 rebounds, 4 assists, only the 1 turnover. Well, Corey Gray got 18, and he was in foul trouble. So nice little game there for us. Keeping that record going at home. Love to see it. Love to see it. There's no way. I definitely expected us to at least lose to Michigan State, if not Kansas. I totally could have seen 2 losses in this non-conference schedule, and so far we're undefeated. So let's keep this rolling. Ooh, feeling pretty good right about now. Long Island coming in. It's too bad that we couldn't have had a schedule like this in our 3rd season at Nebraska, or we'd still been there. The Long Island Sharks. I figured they would be called the Iced Teas, right? The Long Island Sharks coming down to play. And we take care of business. Well, 29-point victory. Corey Gray with 26, along with 7 assists. Delly filled up the stat sheet. 5 blocks. Kyle English almost pulled in 10 rebounds. So everybody doing a little bit of everything there. But once again, Corey Gray just filling it up. He's making things happen, dropping dimes, dropping threes. He's on his game. That is for certain. I'm kind of surprised he wasn't on the Norton list, to be honest. I'll be really interested to see if he goes pro. He should certainly be a first rounder. If he sticks around, he should 100% be on the Norton list next year. All right, so we're up to 18th right now. I don't think we're gonna drop a game. I'm sorry. Screaming upstairs. I got totally lost there. I don't know what I was saying. Stony Brook Seawolves, Auburn Tigers. Don't drop a game in the non-conference. You got to keep it going. There we woo. A little closer than I would like. Delhi got the double-double, though, and we survive. Win's a win. We'll take it. So, on to 9-0. Great start to the season. What I was going to say is, we might move up a little bit in the rankings if we keep winning these games that we should win. I don't put too much into the ranking. The Kansas and Michigan State games are really the only ones that I really think are like solid indicators of what we could potentially be. But we still got to see what we can do on the road. It's always nice to win the games that you're supposed to win. I mean, bad teams drop these kind of games here and there. So if a 10-point win is as bad as it gets here, then maybe we've got something. Michigan State still only has the one loss. See if we can see how they do against Tech. I try to look at it both eyes and see if I can catch the score as it blasts on past. I couldn't tell. But we should get it down here, right? Michigan State went into Texas A&M and won by 10. So they're winning games against other teams, just not your Auburn Tigers. So 9-0. Let's see if we can push it out to 10-0. Push it out to 10-0. Let's get it done. Texas Southern Tigers versus the Auburn Tigers at Auburn Arena. Can we go 10-0 to start the season? Yes, sir. 18-point win. Delhi 17-12. Heck of a game out of Delhi. Corey Gray went 0 for 4 from 3 and only scored 5 points. He dished 4 assists. Really bad game from Gray, but Whitehead and Delhi pick up the scoring load. English with 10, Gordon 13 off the bench. And then Delhi just cleaned it up on the glass. Gray with 5 turnovers. And this is what I'm talking about, these young players. Even, they get on to sophomore, but still some inconsistency out of these guys. Most nights he's going to score 20 and have 5, 6, 7 assists, but had a really bad game there. And luckily, it was against a bad team. It was at home. But, we had a couple of other guys that could pick up some of that slack. So, 10-0 start. Couldn't ask for anything more. Could not ask for a better start. BYU taking care of business there. So, guys, as long as conference play, if we can just go 500 in conference play, we should definitely be staring down the barrel of the NCAA tournament for sure. We ought to have that Northern Kentucky game coming up, so I really hope that Chris didn't jinx us earlier when he's trying to call out Northern Kentucky to shock us. That is not what we want to see happen. I think that game is this week. We might have one other game before it. We'll see. We should see pretty soon. We should see pretty soon. There it is, Northern Kentucky. And this might be one of the... we're getting close to the conference season, obviously, but this might be the last non-conference game. So let's see if we can get through this. Chris tried to call this out as the shock. We're not overlooking anybody. the Norse and the Tigers. Woo! They played us closer than anybody else has. That was a 9-point win, so that's our first one that wasn't double digits. You could see the Gray there went off for, I think, 27 it was, so had himself another ball game. Bounces back from the stinker he put up last time with only 5 points. So he really brought it home for us. Daly played well again. And with that, I think we have wrapped up the non-conference season, and we are undefeated, sitting at 11-0. So looking pretty good right now. Looking pretty good right now. I certainly didn't see 11-0 coming. I figured we'd have 9, maybe 10 wins by now. I didn't see 11-0 coming, that's for sure. That Michigan State game was looming large when I was looking at that calendar. But here we are. Yeah, they're rolling. 11-0, they're not giving it up. Nah, this isn't the title year. Or this team hasn't. We played one good game at home against Michigan State. We haven't even played a road game yet, much less won a road game. This will be a tournament team, and thanks to a really super easy schedule, we might get a little bit higher seeding than we probably deserve. But we don't have anybody. We don't have any juniors or seniors on this team contributing at all. We're going into Kentucky. We might get the doors blown off. This is probably an incoming reality check right here. So right out of the gate, we're going to go on the road against a number 2 Kentucky team to start off conference play. And I have to imagine we're coming crashing back to earth right here. Not awful, but they handled us pretty easily. An 11-point loss to UK on the road. So it certainly could have been worse. They're number 2 at home, so to keep it within, arm's length, it's not bad. They're just a young team, and we're still developing that depth. So we don't really have the horses to pull off a game like that yet. We're getting there. We're moving in the right direction. We're not quite there yet. It wasn't like the preseason. We had the one good game against Michigan State, and then we didn't crap the bed against Kansas. But the rest of them, we weren't even playing teams like Vandy and other big, other power conference schools. We were playing nobody. So now we're actually going to be playing some pretty decent schools. We got Vandy coming in. They're 8-6 on the year. They also lost their SEC opener. And we get back on the right track in a big way, a 31-point win. Delhi with a huge double-double. Whitehead was 17. I don't know why English is up there. I shudder to wonder if Gray couldn't beat that stat line from English. What in the world did Corey Gray do? But you know what? As long as he's healthy and he's on the team, we're going to keep on rolling him out there. I should bounce over and check the dashboard and see what these guys' attitudes look like. Just to make sure if we've got any bad apples, if there's anything we need to worry about. Oh, crap. We got that point guard to sign, and I never came back to boot Collison and bring in another big guy, did I? I forgot about that. So Corey Gray's not very happy. He's not a friendly guy, but these aren't the type of percentages where you're going to see somebody transfer out. So he's fine. Granger, I could care less, to be quite honest. He's probably not going to transfer out because he's got a good relationship with the team, but he hates me. He's just mad because he's not really getting the minutes that he wants to see. But we're all right there. No, nothing to worry about there. Well, you want to frame it and remember it for all time. I'm going to frame that 1 versus 16 game of yours. How about that one? You're not living that one down. Even going undefeated and winning a championship doesn't live that down. All right, so now we got a big game against Alabama on the road. Auburn and Alabama. It might not be the Iron Bowl, or I think that's what the football game's called. But there's still a rivalry game, even if nobody in the state actually watches college basketball. The thing is, Alabama's a good team. They're at home. So this is another one. we won a nice close game. If we could pull one out here, it would be a nice win, but I very much don't expect it. Oh, we got it. We got it. Delhi with another double-double. Gray with a big game. And we won on the road against a ranked team. So, guys, at this point, we start to shift expectations. I certainly thought I'm not listening to this crap, Agalia. We've explained all of that. But anyway, in this, like I certainly thought we would win in that non-conference against some of it. The Michigan State win was a big surprise. Come back to earth a little bit against UK, but then win at Alabama as well. So we're headed, if we don't stumble, we're headed toward a decent seed in March. You're talking about a 4 or 5 seed. If things continue the way they're going right now, we need to continue to defend home court and see if we can continue to compete on the road. Oh! 105-72. Go home, South Carolina. You're drunk. Goodness gracious. That was a beating. Wow. Wow. From a bunch of freshmen and sophomores. This took you to the woodshed in a bad way. I mean, I guess in theory, our small forward's a senior, but he's a walk-on. I don't count him. Yikes. That was a beating, folks. All right, so here we go on the road again against a Mississippi State team that does not look like they're very good. So this is where you'll see, like, are these other games a fluke, or are we really a pretty solid team? If we're actually a pretty solid team, we should be able to get past this game. But it's certainly very losable. Oh, look at Daly, 28-15. That's a massive, massive game from the redshirt freshman center. And we snuck out another conference road game. I mean, you can lose to bad teams in the conference on the road. Happens all the time, happens every year. Tulane totally fell off the planet after I left. So disappointed to see how they crashed and burned. But we're sitting 15-1, guys. Our only loss is on the road to the number 2 team in the country. So we're looking really, really solid. We got a big win on the road against a top 10 Alabama squad. Slipped past Mississippi State on the road. And now we get a little bit of chance at redemption. So now we get the home game, the return game against Kentucky. But they're still probably, the best team that we're going to play in this regular season. So let's see if being at home, if we can turn that tide. We might sneak one out here. Again, I certainly think it's a toss-up. They may still be slight favorites, but we've got a fighting chance here. Yeah! Eat it, Agalia. There's a 9-point win. Delhi with 13-15. Gray with 23. And so right now, folks, we're legit as it comes. As legit as they come. And I don't know how we're doing it here in our 3rd year with nothing but a bunch of freshmen and sophomores plus a walk-on senior. But we're 16-1. We have 2 wins over top 10 team. No, 3 wins over top 10 teams. One of those wins being on the road. So at this point, a 4 or 5 seed would probably actually be disappointing. We might be starting to look at that 2 and 3 line. But we did almost slip up on the road against Mississippi State. That we still have easy half dozen of those types of games in the SEC on the road. So you drop a couple of those and you're right back there at the 4 and 5 line. Let's see how we close out the year. Headed into LSU. Looks like they're having a relatively average year. The 2 and 4 in the SEC, 10 and 7 overall. So we definitely, if we're a solid team, we should be able to get in there, compete, and try to pull out a win here. Oh, and we got smoked. 14-point loss. didn't play any defense whatsoever, let LSU hang 103 on us, and we eat our second loss of the year. That one was actually worse than the loss at UK. So that's disappointing, but it was what I was saying earlier, like you're going to lose against some bad teams on the road. It happens every year. It happens to good teams. It certainly happens to bad teams. Once you get into conference play and into some of those road game scenarios, you just can't be on every night. And especially, like let's be honest here, if this holds up, if our performance so far this year holds up, we're actually a little bit ahead of schedule. This is a lot better. I said at the beginning of the stream, I thought we would probably win like 16 to 18 games this year. We're already there, and we're not even out of January, so we're a little bit ahead of schedule, certainly. We'll see if it holds up, if it holds true through the year. A&M coming in, see if we can keep our home court protected. And yeah, we have a big time bounce back game. 33-point win. Corey Gray with 28. English with 15. Whitehead. It's like the 999 deal, right? He tried. He just couldn't. He was so close to the double-double, but at the end of the day, no, you didn't get it, man. Oh, goodness. So we are 17-2. 6-2 in SEC play. We're defending home court like crazy. And we're fighting on the road. Hopefully the LSU game was the aberration, not the Alabama game. We want the Alabama game to be who this team actually is. Real quick, let's bounce over here and see if we can pick out who was that recruit that I said I did not think would. Well, first of all, we got the SATs. You need a 920 to get into Auburn. So we had a couple of really bad GPA guys, but I don't add them unless they've got some interest. So here you got a 2-2, he qualified. Let's just go all positions. Look at that. So there's the 2-1, he qualified. Actually, let's just sort it like this. JUCO doesn't have to. Lowest SAT score, 920. Every single person on our list qualified. So we got 2-1, 2-2, 2-4, 2-4, 2-4, 2-3. So you got some bad GPAs out there. But that's what I say, like 2-4 and 2-5, as long as they have interest, you're good. It doesn't matter if they have a 2-1. If they have interest before you've started trying to recruit them, you're good. I promise you. If they do not have interest, that's when you got to be a little bit suspect. I usually, if I'm at a school like this where the SAT cutoff's a 920, I usually start getting a little bit leery when it gets to that 2-4, 2-5 range. If you're at like Duke and you got an 1100 SAT requirement, obviously that needs to be different. Maybe a 3.0 is where you start to get leery. But anyway, I've yet to see somebody that starts off with interest in your school, regardless of their GPA. If they start off with interest in your school, I've yet to see one not qualify. Yeah, if you all see it, if you all have seen that, show me evidence. Let me know. All right, January down, 2 months to go in the 2037 season. We are 17-2. I would have never. You couldn't have told me that. I would not have believed it. No way. Ooh, Loyola rolled St. Mary's. All right, so now on the road at Vandy. And again, these are the kind of games, if you're a good team, you got to win it. But it's certainly losable. We're still just so young. The wrong guy gets in foul trouble, the wrong guy gets hurt, and it could be a real stinker. Auburn and Vandy, and they took care of us. See, that's what you can do. Corey Gray put up 21, but the rest of these guys were nowhere to be seen, and we get beat by nearly 30 on the road. So that was by far the worst game of the year. That was embarrassing. Got blown out of the gym. Luckily, only the third loss of the year, but it was a pretty brutal one. But we're still looking good as long as we can avoid too many more of those types of things. As long as we keep winning home games and avoid too many more of those type of losses. Here we go, Georgia coming in. Georgia looks pretty mediocre. We're on our home court. Hopefully this is another one of those bounce-back games. Every time we've lost this year, we've come back with a big-time win. Let's see if we can keep that pattern going. And, yeah, nice little 28-point win there. Delhi a double-double. Gray 22. Bart Jackson with 12. 6 assists. So the big power forward dropping dimes on the hardwood. Bart Jackson with 12 and 6. And Jackson, if you remember, he was actually, he was decently rated, but he was really bad at rebounds. So it's not actually all that surprising to see him doing some other things from that power forward position that does not include rebounding. All right, so at this point, a 20-win season is pretty much a foregone conclusion, and we're in that. We're kind of shifting gears into that mode where we're going to see if we can try to go out and win 25, including the postseason. Obviously, I think it'll be interesting to see how we finish out in our road games, because as long as we win like half of them. I would expect on a neutral court we should be pretty scary. Obviously UK is going to be solid. I would expect Florida to be good. I haven't seen them yet this year. Alabama's ranked. So here we go into Missouri, and we pull out a nice 12-point win. Corey Gray with 24. That dude can score. He's so talented. Love to see that. Out of the sophomore, man. Did ECU have a guy named Adam West? Is that Batman? ECU's got Batman, legit. If y'all didn't watch like the 1960s Batman, that joke's just gonna go like that. But any of you older people in the stream that know what's up, Tennessee's ranked, and we're gonna go play at Tennessee in Knoxville. So this should be a good one. So it'll be interesting to get in that SEC tournament. We're a top 4 seed is very much within our grasp. We got to see how we finish off the season. The good news is our coaching goals, we're blowing them out of the water. We're going to make every one of them. Oh, yeah! 8-point win at Tennessee. Kyle English contributing. Delhi again nearly gets the double-double. So Ben Delhi has been a huge addition to this squad this year. He should have been there last year. He got hurt 4 games in. We were able to redshirt him, luckily. So we should still get 3 more years out of him, along with the center that we're bringing in for next year. So our inside game is just going to get better. But it's great to see Delhi bounce back from the Achilles injury, still being in a redshirt sophomore status. So very excited about having him around. Mississippi coming in, they're actually looking pretty good. 16 and 8 on the year, 7 and 5 in conference. So that's no joke. This is a good team coming in. You can't take anything for granted in conference for certain. Glad to be playing them at home. The Rebels and the Tigers in Auburn Arena. 23. Delhi, Gray, and Jackson. Love to see it. Delhi and Gray, man, they're great. I wonder, since Delhi was hurt and I redshirted him, so now he's technically a redshirt freshman, I wonder if he'll be eligible for Freshman of the Year. I mean, I don't know, UK or Florida or somebody probably has one of these like ridiculous one-and-done dudes, but Delhi should at least be in the conversation, I would think, but I don't know if he's even eligible. I would hope that he is. But he did play 4 games last year, so I'm not going to say that with like 100% certainty. All right, here we go. We're number 13. We're 21 and 3 on the year, and now we head in to play a decent Arkansas squad on the road. So certainly back into toss-up territory. We could win. We could also lose by 30. You can't tell me that Vandy's that much better than Arkansas. Or was it Vandy or LSU that blew us out? Either way, let's hope to avoid that. Let's see if we can go in, steal a win from the Razorbacks. No, so close. Delhi with the double-double again, but we fall just short on the road. But that's more the type of game that I expect to be playing on the road at this point. Playing a decent team. We played well, came up just short. There's nothing embarrassing about that. That's just what happens. So 21-4, 10-4 in conference. We need a quick check of the conference standings. Our coach goal was just to be in the top 50% of the conference. We're going to get that easily. I wanted to see where the race stands for the top 4. So we are still actually 2 games clear of Alabama and Arkansas and Mississippi. So if we win out, clearly we'll be in a top 4 for the SEC tournament. We'll just have to see. Is the SEC tournament, do the top 4 get 2 byes, or is it that weird thing where like the top 2 get 2 byes and then like 3 through 3, 4, 5, and 6 only get 1 bye? I'm not certain. Oh, number 13 Florida at number 14 Auburn. This is going to be a huge game. This is definitely one that can be the difference between a 4-5 seed or a 3 seed. I mean, we're at home. We got the advantage in that department. I've got to think Florida probably has more depth and talent, though. We're still ahead of schedule. We're still young. Yeah, Florida really put it on us there. Came in. That's actually, I believe, our first home loss of the season to a very good Florida team. Even Kentucky couldn't take care of us at home, but Florida came in and they got the job done. Drop us back to 21-5, 10-5 in conference, and we ought to only have about 2 or 3 regular season games left, right? 3. So we got an 18-game conference schedule. Three regular season games left, and then we'll see. Hopefully we can pick up 2, maybe 3 more wins and secure that top 4 seed in the SEC tournament. But I would be just satisfied. We need to beat Alabama here. They're definitely a good team. We won at their place, so I don't think they're a super team like Florida apparently is. Kentucky probably is. Florida's got a couple of Norton Award guys, I believe. Alabama does too, though. They got a guy that was in the top 10 of the Norton Award list as well. So we'll see how this works out. Cross our fingers. Another rivalry game, Alabama and Auburn on the hardwood, and we definitely took care of business there. Whitehead with 23. Nice little 18-point win there against Alabama. So while Kentucky and Florida definitely look like contenders, Alabama seems to be a pretender. And we're somewhere in between. Sort of depends. This is totally the Corey Gray and Deli show. Between the two of those guys, we're going to kind of ride wherever they go. So we'll just see how far they can take us. But picked up the nice home win against Alabama. Another win against another ranked team. So yeah, we're really just locking in at this point to that probably 4 seed. I don't know. We got some good wins. We got a couple of good road wins. We'll see. Definitely making the tournament. That much is clear. Headed on the road to South Carolina, and this is a good South Carolina team. So this would be every bit as big as the Alabama game was. Man, the SEC is pretty good this year. Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, all ranked. LSU and Vandy gave us problems on the road, as did Arkansas. It's good to see us hanging in there, though. I mean, 11-5 in conference. We're taking care of things. The Tigers and the Gamecocks in South Carolina. At first I looked at that and thought we got them, but we didn't. We took an 11-point loss there. Not the end of the world. I clicked the daggone button too fast. Now it's going to sit here and think about it for a minute. It's a good reminder to save. We're almost an hour and a half in. Let's save just real quick. Then we'll finish out the rest of this season. I'll get you into the start of next season, and then we'll call it. I do want to see how that recruiting class comes in and what their ranking looks like. But that's about as far as we're going to get tonight. That'll probably put us right around 9:30, 9:45, right in that area. And I can still go to bed at a reasonable time and save face with the wifey, So look at Jake Owens in the top 5 for Louisville there. Alabama's Ladero Gibbs at 7. All right. 2 more games, Mississippi State and South Carolina. South Carolina is definitely a home game. Cannot remember if Mississippi State, I think Mississippi State's the one we beat on the road by 2. So there should be back-to-back home games to round out the year. And I mean, I think even one win probably guarantees us a top 4 spot in the SEC tournament. But I'd like to pick up 2 wins here. Neither of these teams are going to be ranked. They're both good teams, but teams that we should be able to beat at home. I could certainly see us slipping up. Mississippi State's got a losing record on the year. We should beat them. Yeah, pretty easily, actually. A little 26-point win. Whitehead Gray scoring like crazy. Our guard, it's so funny when we came into here, it was our inside game and then all the way at the 3. Now it's a lot of guard play and then, Belly with his double-double here and there. But we don't have anything else on the inside. It's just him, really. Bart Jackson can score. It's sort of rare that he pops up into that top 3. He's really not a rebounder at all. So Whitehead and Gray are really carrying quite the scoring load. So just really complete 180 from what this team looked like when we got here. So 23-6, 1 regular season game left. Guys, we're not even going to lose 10 games this year. It's impossible. Even if we lose in 2 tournament games and lost this, we're only at 9. And that's not happening. We're going to finish off the regular season with a W. Right? We got one more conference game, right? Did I imagine that? Oh, I guess I imagined it. Oh, right. South Carolina was on the road. I don't know how I got there. 12-6. What the standings end up looking like? All right, so we tied for 3rd. UK and Florida came in, tied for 1st. Auburn and South Carolina tied for 3rd. Tennessee ended up, the bottom fell out there. That LSU loss is looking really bad. All right, let's see how this SEC tournament goes then. Blaze on through the first round, so... Man, I got a feeling we can compete here. Oh, Alabama right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. So we got them twice in the regular season, but man, they've already seen us twice in person. It's hard to beat a team three times in 1 year. But we're going to give it a go, the rivalry game, one more time. Alabama and Auburn. We got them all 3 times, baby. Yes, sir. All right. So, Kentucky's going to go up against Ole Miss in the other game here. Let's just go ahead and sim that. It would be a huge upset if they lost. Oh, they take care of business. Kentucky beats the Mississippi Rebels by 10. And now here in the semifinals of the SEC tournament, we've got the Auburn Tigers and the Florida Gators. I would certainly say Florida is probably a decent favorite here, but you never know. Like the right set of circumstances, all the stars align, and we could be headed to the SEC championship game in year 3, guys. Year 3. Auburn and Florida, SEC tournament semifinals. Damn, they got us by 16. Not really a surprise. That's, to be quite honest, that's what should happen. Florida's a very good team. I fully expect Florida and UK to be top 2 seeds in the tournament. But let's see who carries the SEC championship. I didn't catch it on the flip through. I don't know if y'all did. We'll be able to see it down here, though. UK, big time. 24 points. All right. Oh, clicked the wrong button. Got distracted. Yeah, we're totally ready for this NCAA tournament, I think. Players declaring for draft now. Let's see. Do we get a third year out of Corey Gray? Hey, Corey Gray's coming back. Oh. Our guard play is going to be sick next year, guys. Corey Gray is back. The freshman that we're bringing in, the freshman that we already had, the point guard, is going to be 3 deep full of studs. And then you got Whitehead and Collins at the 2. Our guards are ridiculous next year. Wow. I mean, assuming nobody transfers out, that's always a big assumption, of course. There's the top 10 of your Norton. Let's take a look real quick at the dashboard. Yeah, time to turn down the volume for the selection show. I'm going to turn it down on my speakers. Guys, let me know if this actually makes a difference. I was thinking before the stream it might actually be the audio output capture. So if it's still really loud for you guys, I'm going to let it play for like 2 seconds, and you guys just tell me if it's still like ear terrorism or if it's better. If I had to guess, it's still going to be terrible. So, turn your speakers down a little bit. Protect yourself. Let me run to the streamer station over here real quick. Wasn't sure how long we'd be going, so I only had 2 set up, but yeah, I didn't think turning down the speakers would do anything. I'll just skip through it, and I'll fix the audio output next time. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. It's coming in 1, 2, 3. All right. Hopefully that went quick enough. So, like, are the pings and all that really loud when I get emails too? We are going to watch the show, though. Now, I got to skip it so that everybody doesn't close the stream because it kills the ears. All right, fellas. What's the guesses on our seed here? I think we're very, very solidly a 4 seed. All right, I'll fix the output in OBS and try again next time. Any bets on the seed before I get going? I'll check the playing games and let some guesses come in. Indiana State and Loyola. Agalia's going with the 5. I'm hoping we can hold on to a 4 because I think we've got some quality wins. And I don't think we have any bad losses. I did not check our RPI, though. I don't know if y'all were paying attention to that as I was going through. Still in the playing games, IU, Ohio State, Miami, and I think Nova was the 4th in the play-in. So, any last guesses? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Here we go. Pretty safely not a 1 seed, so let's check the first game, and there's Michigan State. So, Michigan State had a pretty good year. They lost 3, and one of them was to your Auburn Tigers. Kentucky with the 2 seed. I'm very surprised at that. They're number 2 in the nation. They do have a handful of losses. Wisconsin with the 3, VCU a 4, Kansas State a 5, BYU a 6. We're clearly not in this region. Next region, Creighton Blue Jays grab a 1 seed, Florida Gators with a 2, New Mexico Lobos a 3, there's Syracuse with the 4, Arizona State, Arizona, Ole Miss, UNLV, Utah. In Dallas, Maryland grabs the 1 seed. The North Carolina Tar Heels are the 2. Tulsa with a 3 in Dallas. San Diego State a 4. There's Alabama with the 5. So we're clearly in the last bracket. The Richmond Spiders versus East Tennessee State. South Carolina Louisville. Iowa Boise State. So here we go. Your boy and the Auburn Tigers going to Spokane, Washington, where the Oklahoma Sooners are the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed, I don't know why they're doing this in Spokane. This ought to be somewhere in like I don't know, whatever cities are in Oklahoma City, I guess. Oklahoma State Cowboys, the 2 seed. The Auburn Tigers with the 3. I thought the 3 was overly optimistic, but we pull it in the 3 seed, guys. That blows my mind. We were 15-16 last year. The Auburn Tigers grab a 3 seed. They'll be playing Brown in the first round. The Michigan Wolverines a 4, Wichita State, Dayton, New Mexico State, Georgetown, Bowling Green State, St. John's, Temple. There's your NCAA bracket. So let's see how this plays out. I really thought we'd get a 4, but I was cautiously optimistic. I was terrified that Agelia was going to be correct and we were going to drop down to a 5. That would have been very disappointing, given our wins. The lack of bad losses. I mean, we were pretty consistent. All of our losses were either on the road or to like top flight teams. So here we go in the NCAA tournament, guys. Year 3, we're in the NCAA tournament. We made the second round year 1. Last year we went 15-16, had no postseason play, I think. I don't think we even made like CTI or CIT or whatever it is. This year we're a 3, so we should definitely win that first game, as long as we don't do something really stupid. And then, we're going to play a good team. If we get past the first round, we're right into the fire in the second round. But first of all, we've got to take care of Brown. These are neutral court games. We're still an extremely young team. Brown, they probably won their conference tournament. If you're winning your conference tournament, even if it's a small conference, you're a quality basketball team. These small teams scare the crap out of me because they're full of juniors and seniors. So there are no gimmies in the NCAA tournament, that's for certain. Especially, it's tough to say I feel untested after going through an entire season, but I still just feel like we're so far ahead of schedule. But we got to put it in Gray's hands. We got to put it in Daly's hands, and go out there and let's see what happens. First round of the NCAA tournament. They're trying to prove something to me, but they took care of business there. Let's take a look at how they did it. 26-point win. Bart Jackson dropping 19, almost went for a double-double. Daly right there with him with 18. Both of them pulled 9 boards. Gray with 12 and 9 assists. So we had 3 guys there so close to a double-double. None of them quite got there. Excellent game out of our starters. I'm absolutely terrified because our 3 of our 4 best guys just went all out. Hopefully that means they're in the groove. Look at that. The first half was a 1-point game, and we pulled away in the second half. That's terrifying because they were all in a groove. So if they're all not in a groove, it would be... We don't want to think about that. Good thoughts. We're in the second round, guys. Auburn Tigers in the second round. Went back and looked. I think they've got, in the school history, I think they've got 5 Sweet 16s in school history. I think 1 Final Four. And only like 15 or 16 NCAA tournament appearances. So already, just by making the NCAA tournament, this is a pretty good season. But let's see if we can push it here against the Dayton Flyers. Second round action, Auburn Tigers, Dayton Flyers, and Spokane, Washington. Can we live up to expectations and take care of the Dayton Flyers, or are we going to go home early? 15-point win. Oh, I saw the red message up there. I don't know if it was an injury or an incident. God, I hope it was an incident, but I don't think it is. All right, what's the injury? Whew! Every player is important, but if it had to be one guy, this is the one I would have... If I could hand select one person to get hurt, that's who I would have picked. Strained abdominal. All right. Dodged a bullet there. On to the Sweet 16, baby. 6th time in Auburn school history that they're headed to the Sweet 16, and we're doing it in our 3rd season with the Tigers. Ooh, Wisconsin and Kentucky, Arizona and Florida. It's getting serious now. Florida's still hanging in there. They're going to be in the Elite 8. Come on, man. It's a digital player. I can say that about a digital player. All right, here we go. The 2-seed Oklahoma State Cowboys, the 3-seed Auburn Tigers, playing in the Elite Eight in Gallagher-Iba Arena. Well, wait. Actually, that might be incorrect. I think sometimes that actually displays the home arena of... That might be Oklahoma State's home arena, but it's just not programmed to catch that correctly. I don't think it gets your regional... I don't think it picks a regional arena for you to be playing in, so... I was incorrect about that. Anyway, Alabama looking good. They moved on. Let's see if we can move on into the Elite Eight. Auburn Tigers, Corey Gray, Deli, Bart Jackson, Al Whitehead. Can they do it against the 2-seeded Oklahoma State Cowboys? Sweet 16 action. Here we go. Yeah, baby, War Eagle. 14-point win. We got to take a look at that. Let's bask in the glory a little bit. We're headed to the Elite Eight. Oh, Corey Gray, 8 of 17 from 3, 30 points. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Marquette Holmes who? Corey Gray. He's a sophomore, folks. He's a sophomore. Deli with the big game on the glass. Man, oh man. We're headed to the Elite Eight. Handled him in the first half. Pulled away late in the second. Doing what we do, baby. Doing what we do. Survive and advance. Whew. So, some tickets to the Final Four about to get punched. Florida and Syracuse. Florida easily into the Final Four. It's got to be one of the worst Elite Eight games in history. The 1 seed's gone. Our 1 seed lost. And Louisville is going to be playing Alabama for the other side. We're going to go back and look at this. After we play these 2 games, we're going to go back and look at these brackets to figure out how we got here. All right, so first of all, Louisville and Alabama. Woo! L1C4, baby. Louisville took it 84-83. All right, let's see what we can get. Whew. Man, I don't even know what to say at this point. I go into this season thinking, well, we'll probably make the tournament. And then we got the super easy home schedule, so it looked like it was pretty much going to happen. Then, we're hoping for a 4, maybe a 3. We get the 3. Guys, this is a dream season. We're going into the Elite Eight. We're playing against the Michigan Wolverines for the right to go to the Final Four. And we fell short. Oh, that one hurts. I think that one hurts the worst out of any loss I've had on the stream. Wow. What happened? Let's do a little autopsy on this game. So Bart Jackson dropped 15. Didn't really show up on the boards. English was so. Deli with nothing. Deli was in foul trouble. That's what happened with his game. Deli was in foul trouble. He only got 18 minutes, 2 points, 3 rebounds. He was a non-factor. Gray didn't have one of his better games. 2 for 7 from 3. He did get 12 points, 5 assists, also 5 turnovers. So for what he can do, that was certainly not his best performance by any means. Whitehead, he was hit or miss scoring wise this year. He was big on the rebounds, but he had 4 fouls. He only got 20 minutes. Looked like he could have had a game had he been able to stay on the court, but he only managed to get the 3 points. So Gordon came in off the bench, got 7. Collins actually had himself a game, 4 of 8 from 3, 12 points. Just couldn't get anything, exactly what I feared. When everybody's on, that's awesome. If everybody's not on, you end up with something like this and you lose. And you get knocked out in the Elite Eight, and it sucks. So you look over here, Monroe and Alexander. Alexander just lived on the line. That must be who Delly was busy fouling when he wasn't busy fouling Monroe. So both of them went up over 20. Monroe actually added in 13 rebounds, so that got killed us. Oh, man. And, it hurts, but it hurts to go back and look at this plus-minus. But, these guys down here held their own, and the walk-on, the senior walk-on, was brutal in the plus-minus game. So, all right, guys. That was a really exciting season, much, much further than I ever thought we were actually going to get this year. I would have told you we were fool's gold all the way up until, I guess when we beat Alabama on the road was when I kind of started to think it might be something decent. But anyway, let's take a look at this tournament overall and see exactly how we got here. In Greensboro, they went straight chalk. Wisconsin beat Kentucky by 10. VCU knocked out the Sparties, and then VCU punches the ticket to the Final Four. Over here in Cleveland, Creighton, Syracuse, Florida, Arizona. So that was pretty much chalk as well. Came down to Syracuse and Florida, and the Gators were just too much. In Dallas, Iowa State upset the number 1 seed Maryland. We got a nice one over here. Tennessee State beat the 4 seed San Diego State in the first round, getting Alabama out here into the Sweet 16, I guess that is. And then Alabama fell to the Louisville Cardinals. Look at this. Louisville, 15 points over South Carolina, beat North Carolina by 1, Richmond by 9, and then Alabama by 1. So 2 one-point victories, but Louisville is still dancing. They're in the Final Four. I know last year Gonzaga won. I don't remember who they beat. And then in the last region in Spokane, you can see here, Michigan took out Oklahoma, the 1 seed. We got all the way out there, obviously beat Oklahoma State, and then fell to Michigan. It was a valiant effort for the Auburn Tigers, making the Elite Eight in my 3rd season, which is significantly better than what I did at Nebraska. Promise that. But that's how it worked out. So let's see how this season finishes out. We'll see if we can hold on to our coaches, and we can check out that recruiting class for next year and kind of see how the rankings change. I thought I was excited for this year, but I'm pumped for next year. After that season, and the only guy we're losing is a walk-on small forward, man, as long as nobody important transfers out next season, and every season after that, but starting with next season, it's going to be it's going to be exactly what that season just was, except for I'm going to feel better about it because I'm actually going to believe it. I never really believed that season was even happening. It's really interesting. Florida, the 2 seeds, the best seed left in this, and they've got to be the heavy favorite to win it all at this point. Louisville's kind of hanging around as Cinderella, but the Michigan Wolverines just sent them packing. Jake Owens trying to do it all, just can't quite get there. Same with Andy Faulkner. Yeah, I don't remember last year's tournament, to be quite honest. So here we go. 2 teams that we absolutely had no chance against this year. The Florida Gators, the Michigan Wolverines. Who's hanging the banner this year? Florida Gators. Very solid team. So no shame in losing to Florida whatsoever. Let's check out the awards. Kill that music real quick for y'all. All right, entire association. So overall, the Kentucky player won the Norton. Florida player won the MOP. Andy Kennedy at Michigan State won the Coach of the Year. You would have thought your boy would have got a little bit of Coach of the Year love, but nope. UNLV, Michigan State, and Louisville, Jake Owens. First team All-American, not too shabby. Second team All-American, Alabama jumped in there. All right. And in the SEC, Watson with the Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year, and this... All right, he won a national championship. That's fine, but I can't even win Coach of the Year in the conference. When Florida was supposed to be good, we were supposed to be garbage. First team All-Conference players, Corey Gray, first team All-Conference. That's right. 18 points a game, 4 assists, a little over 2 rebounds. That's a heck of a year. Let's see if we got any second teamers. Adonis Coleman, Ryan Willie, and Ben Delly, the second team all-conference player. 13 points a game, 2 assists out of the big man, and also close to averaging the double-double, but he ends up the season with 9.8 rebounds a game and a little bit over 1 block per game. So we're showing up in the awards list now. They'll be back, SEC. Don't you worry. I'm coming for that Coach of the Year award. Delly and Gray are still coming. We got a whole batch of freshmen that are about to be rolling on into this SEC. So the Auburn Tigers are about to take this conference over. I'm telling you guys, if it wasn't for the shade my wife would throw at me, I would sit down here and stream this all night. I'm having a blast with this team and with this save right now. It's so fun. I could go for hours. But then I'd probably be divorced. So, not going to do that. Take a look at our inbox here. Retirement. Nick White. I hope he wasn't... Alright, so we succeeded with it. Oh, look at that! Prestige jumped from 51 to 61. That's huge. Like, that is going to get us close. Like, another 10 points is about all we need to be going after. Basically, especially on normal recruiting difficulty level, right around 70, you can start to go after any player you feel like. Pretty much nationwide, in my opinion. We're close, folks. We should definitely... Those top 10 players that kept crapping on us this year, hopefully this is enough to turn that around. Anyway, let's see which one of our staff members retired. I don't think that's our first assistant. No, that was our scout. We're good. We were only paying him like 30 or 40. So hopefully, first we got to see what jobs are available to us. I'm not considering taking any of the jobs. I don't care which one it is. But you can see, oh, look at Kansas is available. Wow. Kansas would be crazy. I feel like we have to stay at Auburn, right? You can't jump to Kansas. I can't leave this team. We just built them. I want to stay here forever. Like, if Louisville was available, I wouldn't even care. But, like, Kansas, I don't know. There's something interesting about Kansas. If I look at their roster, it won't tell me anything because I don't have their players scouted. I think we can try it. Hey, I've been the coach in Northern Kentucky more times than I can count. More times than you can guess. Promise you that. God, they were terrible. So we actually do have a handful of ratings here. Oh, from when we scouted them because we played against them. Yeah, Agalia, you're 100% right. So, I mean, that center's decent. That small forward's decent. Forrest and Duncan would both be gone. Corey Griffin would still be around. He's a walk-on. I mean, it's really intriguing. The problem is, like, we've got equal team prestige to them now. I mean, I know Kansas is Kansas. It would be interesting from, from a role play perspective, like knowing who Kansas is, but like I'm pretty sure Chris is tired of making new graphics, first of all. Second of all, like, as cool as it would be, like, the budget would be nice. But, like, what are we going to go there and do that hasn't already been done? You know what I mean? 51 appearances in the NCAA, 3 national championships, 16 conference championships, winning 70% of their games. All you can really do is go there and fail. And who knows what their expectations would be. We could walk in there, take that job, and get fired 3 years later, and be right back out on our butts looking for some other place to get lucky and get started. But you're right, 63 prestige. It's a fall from grace. It would be a total turnaround. We could bring them back. So it's like bring back Kansas if we can do it without getting ourselves fired, or keep this War Eagle pride, baby. I don't know. I'll let y'all talk it out. Let your voices be heard. All right, yeah, I'm with y'all. I was strongly against moving, but if y'all thought it would be interesting to watch this, I would have done it. But I'm very, very content. Like the tough thing is, you go in somewhere new, and the roster is utter crap, as you could see, and like you get these ridiculous expectations. There's absolutely no way to fulfill it, and you're fired in 3 years, and it's so annoying. I just want to stick with a school. I'm totally into this Auburn deal. So let's go back. Job hiring. Skip right. We can at least see what else is open just to see. Arkansas got put on probation. That's always fun. Utah open again. We could have had that job a couple times. Texas Tech open again. Could have had that a couple times. Pittsburgh. Colorado's open again. All right. I honestly think Kansas might have been the only thing that even might have jumped out and made me interested. Because like I said going into it, even if Louisville popped up, I wouldn't have cared. Like, I've done that. I'm currently doing that in multiple saves. Like, Kansas, on the other hand, I've usually look at Lamont Miller. That rating has moved up a little bit. Oh, Delhi's looking good. The player impact estimate kind of came back to life because Corey Gray was well over 25% of the team for a while. But, I mean, you can see Gray, and actually Delhi's got a higher impact estimate. So that's interesting. Wonder if he was just a little bit more consistent. Anyway, on to staff hiring. Yeah, I'm with you. I sort of want to take over a school like this that doesn't have a history and create a history. And you can come into a school like this with a little bit more reasonable expectations, meet them, and have your roster built by the time those expectations start to rise. If you try to jump into a blue blood school and they hit you with those expectations right out of the gate, you're handcuffed. You have no ability to meet expectations. All right, we got an email. Is this a coach leaving? No, just the athletic director telling me that we're doing some staff hiring, guys. Let's close out all of that. We only want guys interested in a third assistant job. Strom with 62 recruiting. Yeah, dude, we'll pay you. How about 45? There we go. Landed him. Chris is trying to tell a story over here. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Cards taking over the cards to end out the college basketball 2020 streams. You know, let me know. I'll have to keep an eye. I'll have to keep an eye on the Draft Day Sports Twitter and all that stuff to see when college basketball 21 is coming out. I mean, obviously, I'll hop over to that when it comes because I get it every year. I love this game. So, obviously, eventually I'll move over there. So maybe when we're getting close, we'll see if we can't bring this stream to a close so that we can start up that one. But for now, let's see. Corey Gray's still got the frowny face. He doesn't like me for some reason, but he's cool with the team. Whatever, man. As long as you stay, I don't care how... I do care how unhappy you are. I would love to make you happy, but I don't know how to do it. So, let's petition the board. We don't need more time. We could use more facilities or more money. I'm going to go with facilities because I've been making this budget work just fine. Get out of here, Galia. I've already won so many titles on here. All that talking. Request denied. End of season. Moving on into the next year. And getting really close to the end of the stream. We're probably about 5 minutes and we'll be wrapping it up. We're going to process this off season, get our recruiting set up for next year as far as the reports and the camps. Take a look at our ratings. Skip over transfers as always. And we'll call it a day. But I'm excited to see what these ratings are going to look like next year, especially since we got such a better scout. So last year, I think our scout was like 40, 45, and now our dude's like 60 or 70, right? So we should have some pretty accurate scouting grades now. Because not only is our scout good, but we are good. Like our own coach is good at scouting. So the ratings should be much more accurate now. God. This Auburn team's taking over the SEC. It's going to be so much fun. It's probably going to be my best one. I don't know what it is about grabbing SEC teams. Georgia was like probably one of my favorite dynasties ever, outside of a handful of Louisville dynasties that I've had. And I think Auburn's going to be right there with it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm very happy to skip on that blue blood program. I've taken a bite of that poisonous fruit in the past, and it never works out, man. It just doesn't. Something always comes up and bites you. Even if, like, I took over Georgetown once. That was actually the Georgia save. I did like 10 years at Georgia. I got pissed off because they would never increase their facilities or budget. So I kept losing out to Florida. And eventually I just got pissed off. It's like, you know what? If you don't care about your basketball program, I'm out of here and going to Georgetown. They've already got it set up. So I went in there year one, pulled the number one class in the nation, like 2 of the top 10 players and another one in the top 15. We went out that first year, absolutely crushed it. Then they all went pro. The second year was very average, and then I got fired in the third year. And there's just no winning at a school like that. All right, 51,000 left to recruit. Ooh, we must have paid that coach a little bit more than the last one was making. But we only have 2 scholarships open for next year. We can easily do that on like $30,000. So, really no holding back there. All right, this recruiting class, like I said, I think it'll be 10 to 15. It could sneak into the back end of the top 10. There we are, sitting at 13. Florida pulled in the top class. Clemson with a number 8. South Carolina with a 9. Aren't they on probation? I guess they don't kick the players off or anything. They just put them on like a scholarship reduction. So South Carolina might be pretty good because they got a bunch of players they bought. All right, so there's your recruit rankings. Yeah, lucky number 13. That is correct. Do I want the Southeast or the national report? So far, we're doing this just with the Southeast. We're only 61 prestige. Let's not get too crazy yet. We can branch out a little bit more when we've upgraded either facilities or budget, or preferably both. Or just, once the school prestige gets up there. Yeah, Florida's going to be solid for a while. Look at this roster now, though. This is what I'm talking about. Hold on, let's, before we go too nuts, anybody transfer out? No. Skip the transfer nonsense. see, that's what happens. Like, once you get into year 3, year 4, this is year 4 now with Auburn, and you can see, like, the roster is stacked with just stars all over the place. Even if they're 3-star guys, those guys, you know, they have their nights for sure. And they're the ones that can really jump in and make something happen if your best players are having an off night or something. So now we're at the place where we can do some serious damage. You know, we can go on the road and compete. You know, we can consistently play with those top teams, and we should have far less of those games that are just like the stinkers out of nowhere. So let's get over here and delete these emails. Set up the summer travel. We will be going to Indy Elite and Memphis. 41. So we'll still have about $37,000 to work with. 36, 37, something like that. Get this save. Take one quick look. Oh, the draft, right. Oh, so there's the Michigan State guy goes number 1. Kentucky had a top 5 guy. Wisconsin, Michigan State, Purdue. Since nobody left, like, we shouldn't have anybody drafted. And I don't think anybody at Tulane is ours anymore. I don't think any of those Nebraska guys were, like, draft quality players. Nah, I don't see anything in the draft that's all that interesting. We're on June 26th. Recruiting begins today. First stop is our office. Let's take a look at our coach skills. Oh, okay. So qualify for the NCAA. They want us to finish in the top 3 and win 20 games and improve school prestige. So I think everything except for finishing in the top 3 of the conference is fairly easy. Well, I guess school prestige should go either way. But if we're winning that many games, school prestige should follow. And then hopefully we can get top 3 of the conference. But our job is very secure here. We're good to go. Take a look here. 87 offensive skill. Defense is maxed out. Player development's maxed out. Recruiting's at 94. And scouting is coming along. We'll get there on scouting one day. So here's the reason y'all are sticking around. Let's check out this roster. Try to save it for last. So they backed off a little bit on the star rating on Corey Gray down to 4.5. They moved Delly up to 4.5. Lamont Miller showing up. Look at Perry Leach showing up as a freshman with 4 stars. Al Whitehead with 4. Linton Collins 3.5. D. Henry, Bart Jackson, and Chambers the freshman all at 3. Richard Warren at 2.5. I don't care about Granger. I'm not worried about him. So you can see that Delly's obviously the center. Warren can certainly spell him. Jackson and Chambers could almost rotate, but Jackson's got more experience. I love that. Henry looking solid. Holland, the freshman, coming in with a 1.5 star, a little bit of a low rating, but definitely he'll be a player. He'll be just fine. We'll play D. Henry some heavy minutes over him. Maybe Linton Collins actually slides over there and steals some minutes from Holland. Because we got to find a way to get some of these guards on the court. We got Corey Gray, Lamont Miller, and Perry Leach at point guard. I don't know what we do with that. Look at the outside shooting on Perry Leach. 10 outside shooting, 6 scoring. Could get up to 7. Like, that's every bit as dangerous as what Corey Gray's doing. He expects starters minutes. He's not going to get them, and he's going to transfer out. So that's sort of nightmare scenario. Let's see about Miller. He doesn't care about minutes. He's not friendly. Hopefully we can keep Miller happy because Corey Gray's going to start. Al Whitehead's probably still going to start. Perry Leach is not going to get the minutes he wants. He's going to leave, and then Corey Gray could still go pro at any moment. And so we could go from all this talent at point guard to nothing quick and in a hurry. All right. Who am I going to redshirt? Miller? I mean, I could redshirt Miller. I can't redshirt Leach. If I redshirt Leach, then it was worthless recruiting him because he's going to leave after he doesn't get his minutes. I don't know, I'll have to think about it. It's not a decision I want to make right this second. I want to take a look at the roster and see what the ratings actually look like here. So scoring, Corey Gray still a 7, Collins still a 7, and Delly still a 7. Those are still our scores. Gray and Leach can both definitely shoot from the outside. So can Miller. Inside scoring-wise, Delly, Granger, Warren, they can all fill it up. Granger actually the best scorer out of all that. Defensively, Gray, Miller, Delly's really good. Look at the offense and defensive rebounds out of Gray. Gray is just an all-around player, and so is Delly. These guys are both absolute beasts. It's ridiculous. The passing and handling, Gray's only getting better. Miller really good at passing. He doesn't really have the handles, though. Leach is really good. Leach is really good, guys. Doesn't quite have the defense that Miller has. So, I mean, I could take a chance and try to redshirt Miller. Let Gray, Whitehead start. Let Leach fill in behind him. Start Henry at the 3. Let Collins play behind him. And then run Jackson Chambers at the 4. Delly and Warren at the 5. I could try that. But then that's sort of like we run the risk of pissing off Lamont Miller, who's the point guard most likely to be on next season's roster. Now, Whitehead's actually not concerned about minutes. Neither is Collins. So, in theory, we could keep Leach happy by starting him at the 2 over Whitehead. He's got a better jumper, a little bit better scorer, better passer, same handles. Can't rebound on offense as well. He's good here. Not quite as strong defensively. Definitely not on the blocks, the steals. A little better athlete, a little better IQ. So that's another option. And I'm not totally opposed to it, but I do prefer older players that know the system, so I'm mostly opposed to it. But anyway, that's what we're going to be. Those are all going to be problems for next time, guys. Here's the roster. You can take a look at it, screenshot it, bring it back up on YouTube, whatever you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to call it a day. I really appreciate y'all stopping by. Anybody that was in the stream with us, chatting, throwing out suggestions and ideas, love to have it. Anybody catching us on YouTube later, thank you so much for watching. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you want to see. If you got any suggestions on how to work this roster out. But I had a great time. Hopefully I'll be back soon, and I'll catch y'all then.